I have this sense of a pram under a tree, and the breeze is moving through the leaves, making shadowy flickers over a blanket, and I think maybe I am lying under that blanket. I can close my eyes and be in this moment, but I am afraid to do it. I have a sense of the young woman that was her, moving around near me, under the tree, getting something for me. There is music somewhere. The neighborhood we lived in was noisy and full of people from everywhere. People who had nothing much except those lovely streets of crumbling Victorian terraces near a park. I never went to that part of the city anymore. I didn't need to. I'd risen above it, and so in my mind, it was wrapped up in the past, with being just the two of us, as it was throughout those days. My mother told me then that she could no longer afford the mortgage payments on her small house in the commuter town she lived in. Her illness meant she could no longer work. "Come and stay with us," I said. "We have so much space. You could be with the kids." I had imagined this happening. I had imagined her coming to me, needing something. Many times I had imagined this. My mother withdrew her hands and looked away. I got up to get myself something to eat. It was very early on in the pregnancy, and I was full of appetite for food and sleep. While queuing, I noticed how well-lived all the other patrons of this cafe looked. They were all mostly close to my mother's age. They wore thick gold rings, wide trousers, bifocals with pink frames. They peered at the cakes and the stacks of pastries, their faces prosperous, eager, frank. My mother was wearing supermarket trainers, faded jeans and a cotton sweater under a cardigan. But to my eyes, she still looked stylish. She worked as a cashier in a supermarket. She had arranged a small, organized life for herself, neat as a well-made bed. I was proud of her for that, proud of how self-sufficient she was. I didn't even know how much money my husband earned. It was too embarrassing to know. I read stories in the press about how hard it was to manage nowadays, and I found it difficult to really believe this, though I had once been in that position myself. But my current life was so real, so enveloping that seeing beyond it was almost impossible. As I was waiting to pay, I noticed that the 60-something woman ahead of me was holding hands with a small boy the same age as my daughter. He looked all around the busy cafe, his cheeks flushed and adorable. His grandmother kept her eyes fixed on him the entire time, even while paying the assistant. He put his small hand absent-mindedly on her leg, and I saw her thin face register his touch. Back at the table, I said to my mother, "Why don't you come over for a bit at least? The kids would love to see you." This was not really true. The kids already had a devoted set of grandparents who lived locally and who showered them with attention and love. Another grandma would have been nice, but in the way another book on their well-stocked bookshelves would have been nice. "The kids ask about you all the time," I said. "They wonder why I don't have a mummy. Why I don't have a family." I laughed. "It's a good question, isn't it?" "Another baby," my mother said. "I suppose it's only the rich who can afford to have big families nowadays." 3 is hardly big, I said, but she was right. No one I knew from my days at the magazine had more than 1 or 2 kids, unless they had married rich, like me. And no one had married quite as rich as me. "True," my mother said. "You'd need a few more to fill that house." "Oh, we moved. Didn't I tell you?" I said. "Just down the street. The stamp duty made it a bit naughty, but you should see the garden." I heard myself saying these things, but I couldn't stop. It's like an orchard. It's so nice for the children to be close to nature. I spoke those last words slowly, feeling them puncture any chance of anything. My mother's lips were tight and pale. "Anyway," I said, "let me know how much. We can make it a monthly payment, if that's easiest." She said nothing. Her hands were trembling a little, and I thought about feeling guilty, but then, she was old and ill, why shouldn't she tremble?